And I love all of you. Oh, yeah. But there's so much more of me. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Where is?
¿Cómo están? ¿Están felices o no? Bueno, pues nosotros más estamos muy emocionados y contentos y orgullosos de tener por segunda vez en México a John Katzenbach.
It's always an immense pleasure to come to Mexico. It is a country of great depth, and it's always interesting here. You should be proud, you know, and especially Guadalajara. Does everyone in Guadalajara read books? Yes. Good. Great, yes, thank you, yes. Yeah, I recognize those books, yes.
Pues bueno, vamos a dar inicio a la presentación. Voy a dar una pequeña biografía de John Katzenbach. Él nació el 23 de junio de 1950 en Princeton, Estados Unidos. Es el hijo del abogado y político Nicolás Katzenbach y de la psicoanalista Lydia Phelps. La carrera de John como novelista comenzó en 1982, con la publicación En el calor del verano, una novela negra que examina el culto de las celebridades, la fama y la ética de los medios de comunicación. Con este libro demuestra su poder narrativo y pone en práctica su experiencia adquirida como periodista en Trenton Times, donde se dedicaba a cubrir específicamente sucesos nocturnos en la ciudad, ya se imaginarán, en el Miami Herald y Miami News. También ha colaborado en el Washington Post, The New York Times, entre otros. A partir de entonces, Katzenbach ha escrito 15 libros. Ha sido publicado en más de 10 idiomas, yo creo que un poco más. Y pues bueno, sus novelas han estado en los bestsellers de muchos países. Ha recibido premios en Francia, Alemania, Argentina y Estados Unidos. Y pues bueno, hay que citar las novelas que ha escrito, que es la primera de la que hablamos, Al calor del verano, Firstborn, que no se ha traducido al español, Retrato de sangre, Un asunto pendiente, Juicio final, La sombra, Juegos de ingenio, La guerra de Hart, El psicoanalista, La historia del loco, El hombre equivocado, El profesor, Un final perfecto, El estudiante y la que estamos presentando, Personas desconocidas.
Yeah, Anna. Thank you. Where's Gabby? Because I say something. Hold on. Hold on.
I think.
Yeah. Try again.
Yeah, okay, yes.
Say something. No? Oh, now, there we go. Perfect. Go here. Good. It was going to be interesting. You bet. Can everybody hear okay? Oh, good. Okay. now try to say something that is interesting. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Eres un maestro.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Okay.
Ok. Pues bueno, te voy a hacer unas preguntas. Bueno, respecto a la novela, ¿no? Y no vamos a decir ni de qué se trata ni de qué va, solo en el contexto de los personajes. ¿Cómo construyes a Gabe, Marta y Tessa? ¿Cuál es la psicología de estos personajes en tu última novela, Personas desconocidas?
All characters come from a combination of people I have known, people I hope to know, and parts of myself. My family would say that the really twisted parts are all from me. But I think that in the truth, characters stem completely from your imagination. And your imagination is formed by every minute that you are awake throughout your life.
Inicias esta novela con un diálogo entre una pareja que no encuentra a su hija adolescente.
Yeah.
¿Por qué eliges este hecho trágico en la primera cuartilla?
Oh, boy, what a good question. Because the book takes place in a space of time separated by 20 years. As an author, I was trying to find a way to launch you into the story as quickly as possible. And so I thought the dialogue between a man and a woman who suddenly realize that the most precious thing in their life is gone would create the right note of tension that would carry the book forward. That's a really technical answer. The other answer, it just seemed like a good idea at the time.
Okay. Ayer mencionabas en una cena que tuvimos con los editores que trabajaste como periodista de nota policíaca en Miami. ¿Cómo influye esto en una profesión como escritor para crear a tus personajes? Me imagino que ver el hecho, de estar en el hecho, de, no sé, de reportar crimen, te lleva a crear a tus personajes y como cualquiera de nosotros se puede identificar con ellos, ¿no? En una escena de un crimen.
Okay, this will take about an hour or two. When I was a journalist, I covered many, many crimes, and what I realized was I was getting an education in evil and what people will do to each other. For some reason, I look at life as if everything is a theater, and everything I see is on a stage in front of me. And my experiences as a newspaper reporter have fueled every story that I've told. I think that every writer seeks certain kinds of truth. And I've always found the creation of a thriller to be one of the best ways to examine the kind of truth that all of us, all of you, me, everyone, face day to day.
Okay. En tu novela, Personas Desconocidas, Gabe y Tessa son unos personajes de los más inestables, ¿no? Emocionalmente. ¿Cuál es el mensaje que quieres y que tú y los personajes quieren transmitir al lector al final, dentro de una línea de comportamiento lineal o no en tu novela?
Mm-hmm. Wow. The message. You know, first off, I don't really think about a message. But after I've finished, I look back at the characters in the plot, and I see, what are they trying to tell me? And in this book, the message is as simple as this: never give up, because everything will change. I was ducking that question.
Yes. Las diferencias entre Katzenbach, que escribe el psicoanalista, y el Katzenbach que ahora escribe Personas Desconocidas.
Yes. The current Katzenbach is older. And I can't jump as high, and I can't run as fast. But I like to think that every book you write teaches you something about the craft of writing. I learn as much from my characters as I do from anything that's ever happened to me. And so, you know, I guess really, I'd like to say I'm getting wiser, but I'm not sure that's true. You know, yeah. The only thing I can guarantee is that I'm getting older.
Y que has aprendido de tus personajes también. Así como aprendes, y lo acabas de decir, de tus personajes, crear tensión entre ellos es muy importante dentro de todas tus novelas.
Mm-hmm.
¿Cómo eliges este tipo de conductas desiguales, positivas o negativas, para lograr ese efecto en la ficción, en ese efecto completo de tensión en tu ficción?
Well, let me say this. Everyone in their life experiences tension. It can be significant. It can be momentary. It can live with you forever.
as an author, the creation of tension almost always comes, for me, from the psychological balance between the characters and the plot. As they progress through the story, I like to think of it as turning a rubber band. It gets twisted and twisted and tighter and tighter. And that ultimately is not only what brings you to the book, but which energizes me to keep going. I love tension in my books. I'm not so wild about it in my life, but you know, in the books. And you want to know the funny thing? I don't know that I've ever said this publicly, but I'm never really aware of the moments of tension that impact readers the most. Oftentimes, it's a moment that I haven't anticipated. And this takes me by surprise. So it gets back to what you asked earlier. This is where I learn something every time I sit down to write.
Si los lectores, o sea, tus lectores, que somos nosotros, se
Yeah.
identifican con tus personajes, ¿a qué lo atribuyes? ¿A una vida cotidiana? ¿A una lectura difícil?
Oh, boy. I think that the reason that people come to my books and are attracted to them is because the problems that the characters face have an authenticity that they become real. And one of the few rules that I have as a writer is whenever I take a character forward in the story, I always ask myself, is this something that I would do? Is this something that people I know would do? Does it make emotional sense? And that is just as true for the good guys in the book as it is for the bad guys. It's a kind of an interesting thing. Every day when I get up and I'm working on a book, I know that one day I'm going to be a disgraced police officer. One day I'm going to be a psychoanalyst plagued by the worst situation he could ever imagine. And one day I just might be a psychopathic killer. And you have to give the same value as a writer to every one of those. I should tell you a small joke. I was at dinner with an old friend of mine whom you probably know, Thomas Harris. He wrote The Silence of the Lambs. He is a wonderfully lovely fellow. And he turned to me at this dinner, and he put his arm around me. And he's a genteel fellow from Mississippi, the kind of person that holds a chair for every woman and the door open. And he says to me, he says, John, you and I, we were in the vanguard of the great serial killer novelists. So I said to him, well, it's always good to be in the vanguard of something. Maybe that one I could have avoided, though. A lovely guy. And there's not a day that goes by that I don't wish I had thought up Hannibal Lecter. Yeah.
Puedo imaginar. Oye, hablando de películas y de actores, ¿nos puedes sorprender y contar si hay posibilidad de una próxima película de alguna de tus novelas?
Yeah. Yes. At the moment, there are two. Wait. You know, that may not be good news. Yeah. There is a Spanish production company that is trying to make El Psicoanalista. I read their first script. Yeah. They're not really talking to me anymore. So we'll see. There is an Australian company that is planning to make The Madman's Tale, La Historia del Loco. They say they are going to start filming in March. They have hired the actor Emil Hirsch to play the lead. But as Shakespeare once wrote, there is many a slip betwixt the lip and the cup. And there's only two things I can say about that movie. One, I don't think they're going to get enough money. And two, if they do, it'll be really, really good. And the reason I say that is out of utter conceit, arrogance, because I wrote the script. So, yeah. Yeah. Wait till it comes out, right? You know what I mean? It's, one of the things that I learned doing this is that writing a script is much more difficult than writing a novel. I have great admiration for the people who can do it successfully. It's hard. I mean, it's hard. Everybody always thinks that you just write a line like, "I'll be back," and that's it. It's not that easy.
Pues bueno, son todas mis preguntas. Muchas gracias. Yo creo que vamos con el público a ver quién tiene alguna pregunta. ¿Quién levantó la mano primero? Ya, sí.
John, hola.
Hola.
Bueno, no es una pregunta, más que nada quería hablar contigo porque hace 2 años vine a verte igual Me pasó lo mismo este año, no alcancé ficha para la firma, pero aquí estoy viéndote. No sé, me encanta verte, me encanta escucharte. Cada vez te amo más. Y agradecerte por todos tus libros. O sea,
Thank you.
yo sé que ellos me entienden porque son tus fans igual que yo. No ocupo decir mucho, nada más decirte gracias. Gracias por todo y
Thank
estoy
you.
muy, no sé, muy feliz de volverte a ver. No esperé volverte a ver.
Let me ask you a question. If you were here 2 years ago, have I contradicted anything I said back then?
Nada.
No, good. Yes. Who's next? I'm going to let Jana choose.
Hi, John. My name
Hi.
is Cesar. I am very excited to be here. And my question is, why don't you think to give your histories, your books, into a TV show? I think to TV show. I think it's most valuable, and I think it's easiest than make a movie. So why don't you think to a script for TV show, a series? I don't know. I think it's I think it's best
Okay.
because
Good. Let me just say this. The problem with movies is that you have to do a lot in 2 hours. And what usually the filmmakers throw out is all the emotional content for why people do something on the screen. The great advantage of what's happening in the world of cinema, what now, are episodic television. Because they are able to explore characters in much greater depth. That's, I think, if I had my absolute choice, I would love to have, one of my books done in a series. And I promise you that I would add, like George Martin, I'd put dragons into it too. Yeah. Dragons really work. Yeah. Yeah. Dragons, yes.
De este lado, por favor. Sí.
While we're handing that, let me just say something. I really, really, really admire writers like him. The ability, the imagination to create an entire world is, I find, astonishing and wonderful. I have great admiration for him, for J.K. Rowling, C.S. Lewis, Tolkien, all those writers, the science fiction writers. Immense respect. Good.
Por favor.
Mi pregunta es que si tú pudieras coescribir algún libro con cualquier autor, vivo o muerto, ¿con quién sería y de qué trataría el libro? ¿Como qué género sería o de qué te gustaría que fuera?
What a wonderful question. I'd have to think about that. I think that if I had a choice, I would be sitting at the table, obviously working with the great Dostoevsky, and I would hope that the person joining us would be the equally great Charles Dickens. Yeah. And as far as living authors, there are none that I would really like to work with. I wouldn't mind it if J.K. Rowling would put her name on my books.
you know, and you know, but all of the, you know, all of the money came to me. But you know, that would be fine. That would be fine. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Allá hasta el fondo. Allá, derecha, derecha. Sí. Pero te tienes que parar, porfa.
Hey, I'm Kate. I'm your biggest fan, and well, I want to ask you, why do you feel that you need to write? I mean, how?
I'm sorry. Say it again. I was listening here, and it was coming there, and I couldn't hear you.
I'm sorry. Well, why do you feel that you need to write? I mean, you're in some kind of tension, or it's at escape, or something like that, or do you just write?
Oh, that's also a good question. What you're really asking is, do I think of the tension first, or does it just come naturally? Is it?
I don't know. I mean, it's some part of you.
As an escape, huh? Yeah.
It could be. I don't know. You answered that.
Boy. No, I don't really write to escape. The stories I like to tell are just a part of me. And I feel it important to sort of get them out and to share them. And I'll tell you, here's what's fun. 3 or 4 times a year, I go on fishing trips with a bunch of the most prominent psychiatrists in America. And every time I go, I learn something about fishing, about human nature, and a little bit about myself. And I think they would all say that good old John is a good fisherman, and that he tells these stories to escape parts of himself.
And then you want to escape.
But then I wouldn't believe him.
Oh, okay. That changed everything.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A ver, un poco más atrás. A ver. No, ella. Ajá, ella. Sí.
Hi, thank
Hi.
you. I'm Noemi, and I'm studying right now to be a writer, and I want to know, where do you go to write a novel?
Where do I go?
Yeah, you go far away from your
No.
house or something?
Well, it's actually, I go 2 places. Physically, I go to a little office I have in my house. And it used to be me and my dog, but my dog passed away. I don't think
I
anything
have
I
2
wrote,
dogs.
you know, but in reality, I go to someplace new at the start of every page. It is about, because there's a different emotional world on every page of the book. And that's where I travel to. Thank you.
Thank you. I love you, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
La chica del sombrero.
Hold on. Where are we going? Good?
There.
Oh, good.
Well, hello.
I like your hat.
Thank you. Well, my name is Melissa, and I am very emotional to be here. It's an honor.
Good.
And well, I like the form that you write books, and I think that my question is a little embarrassing and a little stupid, I must have to say.
There are no stupid questions.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But I was wanted to ask by the actor, because me and I think that many people of here was buy the book and they can have the autograph,
I'm sorry, say that
included me.
I didn't catch the last part.
Si la puedes decir en español, mejor, ¿eh? Está...
Ah, ok.
No, para agilizar.
Quería preguntar si por el autógrafo, porque tanto yo como estoy segura que varios de los que están aquí no lo conseguimos. Conseguimos un sellito que no nos va a valer de nada
Oh, yeah.
y es un poco triste en realidad. Quería preguntar por eso.
You know, you know, this is the damnedest thing. You know, on the shelves of my house, I have many books signed by friends of mine, and frankly, the fact that there's a signature in the front doesn't make that book any better or any worse. As far as signing books here in Mexico, I feel very strongly that if it is important to you, that it is important to me as well. Here's why. I think that there is a relationship that a reader has with the characters and the plot of the book. And then it flows to the author as well. And I think that the writers who do not honor that relationship cheat the profession. That's my, powerful statement for the day. Okay.
A ver, allá atrás, por favor. La que sigue, sí.
Hi, John.
Hi. What does that mean?
Oh, it says change.
What's that?
Change.
Okay.
I don't know if it's the real meaning, but it says change.
Yeah.
Okay? Okay.
Very yin and yang. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, it's an honor to me to be here with you. The last time that you came to Guadalajara, I have the honor to talk with you the last time, okay? So we know that your biggest book is The Analyst. We
Yes.
know it, and it's amazing, believe it. But I want to know who's your favorite character, the one that you tell us that is your biggest character, the one that you like.
My favorite character of
Yeah.
all. My favorite character of all.
I have one,
yeah.
but I want to know who's your favorite one.
The easiest thing to say is that my favorite character is always the next character.
Good answer.
Yeah, but let me say this, that when I look back at all the characters I've created, that there are elements of each that speak very loudly to me. Often those are moments of where people get put into situations. In El Psicoanalista, the moment when Dr. Starks walks towards the water as if he's going to, disappear, was a moment that, I felt great attention to. In La Historia del Loco, when Francis understands what's going on in the hospital, this was very powerful for me. And in this latest book, I'm not going to tell you what happens,
But there is a moment where the main characters walk up on the porch of an old farmhouse in the Berkshire Hills of Massachusetts.
Okay.
That really meant a lot to me. You'll have to read why yourselves. Yeah. Available from Ediciones Bay, I might add. Right? Yeah, good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Gracias. Usted, señor, que había levantado la mano.
Yes.
Thank you, John. I'm going to ask you in Spanish
Sí, por
for
favor.
respect to the audience.
In
Sí,
Spanish.
por favor.
Okay, good. Good.
Bueno,
Yeah.
creo que todos merecemos respeto y le están haciendo la traducción a John, ¿no? Entonces, bueno, hablas de hacer el guión para las películas, aparte de la cuestión del presupuesto de tus
Yeah.
novelas. Pero no sé si tengas conciencia de lo diferente y lo difícil que es hacer un guión técnico de producción de una película que una novela. ¿Estás
Oh.
consciente de eso?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. You want to know what's interesting about the difference between a script and a novel. In a novel, I have pages and pages where I control you, the reader, and I can bring you into the story. In a script, it has to be done in very few words, and it is all about visual. And that is why, the great screenwriters, Tarantino, he knows language and he knows context. So he puts it together. So, when John Travolta says, Royale with cheese, we feel that. Yeah, it's a much different process. I think that's why not very many screenwriters are good novelists. Yeah, good.
Gracias. A ver, tenemos nada más 10 minutos atrás. Sí. No, él. No, usted no.
Thank you very much.
En
John.
español.
¿En
por
español?
favor. Sí.
Okay.
Es que para agilizar tenemos 10
Sí, ok,
minutos.
ok.
Sí, porfa.
Fuera una serie de televisión, fuera una película, ¿has pensado en lanzar una campaña de Kickstarter o de Indiegogo o de GoFundMe? Yo pienso que aquí todos queremos ver una serie, una película, lo que sea, y yo estaría dispuesto a poner de mi dinero para que eso pasara.
I've never thought of that, but I will certainly suggest it to my Australian friends, and we'll see. That's it.
Todos pondremos dinero.
That's not a terrible idea. Yeah. No. Oh, really? Everybody would contribute. Well, let's put a little basket up here now, and we'll start. Right? Exactly. Exactly. Thank you, though. Thank you. Yeah. Good. Go ahead. Yeah.
Sí. Ahora, no. Perdón.
Gracias. Bueno, estoy nerviosa, estoy temblando. En la mañana te vi por primera vez después de tanto tiempo de quererte ver. Y tengo la piel chinita, perdón. Mi pregunta es si por parte de mi mamá también. Cuando tú empezaste a escribir, anteriormente pues obviamente fuiste un periodista, pero ¿qué fue lo que te motivó a escribir referente a ese tipo de historias?
Novels.
Ajá. Referente a hacer historias pues criminalísticas y
Good. I mean, I became a journalist because when I finished college, I sort of surveyed the world, and I thought, who would pay me to write something? So I became a journalist, and I realized I really loved it. But I always wanted to tell my own stories. And so it was only a matter of time before I began to do that. I'll tell you that my very first book, In the Heat of the Summer, Al Calor del Verano, it came out of a conversation that I had with my then girlfriend who became my wife. And I was covering something in the courthouse, and that day I had gotten a call. I used to get calls all the time from people who would say, I'm innocent. You know, I didn't commit this crime. They were all lying, of course. And I turned to the young lady I was with, and I said, you know what would be interesting is if somebody who wasn't arrested called me up and told me why they were committing a crime. And just like that, honest to God, just like that, I saw the entire novel from start to finish. And when you see that story right in front of you, you have to honor that. And, you know, so I took a big chance. I started writing. And, you know, let me say one thing, because I'm sure that there are people here who want to write. The most important thing I can tell you is this. Have confidence in your own ability. Tell your own stories, because they will be the stories that mean the most to you. And if they mean the most to you, they will mean the most to many people. Have confidence. Good.
Gracias, John.
A ver, creo que ya es la última.
But it also helps to be really lucky. Yes, yes, yeah.
El de azul, sí.
Yeah.
Azul, azul, azul.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not choosing. Yeah, good, good.
Hola, me llamo Alex.
Yeah.
Soy fanático tuyo desde que tengo 14, 15
Thank
años. Mi principal pregunta es acerca de una de tus novelas, que es la del profesor. Espero no spoilarle a nadie la historia.
Yeah.
Realmente. No les voy a contar el final, de igual manera. Realmente tenía que acabar así esa historia. Lloré como por 2 semanas, te lo juro.
That's right. Yeah. Okay.
Sí, lloré, de verdad.
Yeah. You know, I'll say this. It is always important to me in every novel, and the one you cite, El Profesor, is a good example of this,
Excelente.
that I want to create on the pages a challenge. Every book should be a mountain for the characters to climb. There are slips, there are falls, and there are dangers in that thing. And that book demonstrates that probably as much, if not more, than any of the others. I'm very fond of that book. And the reason I'm fond of it would require me to tell you how it ends, and I'm not going to do that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, good.
Pues creo que ya no tenemos tiempo, ¿no, verdad?
What? Oh,
A ver,
what?
una más. ¿O
What? Okay.
ya no?
Let,
Ya no tenemos tiempo. Ya no.
What?
Ya, ¿verdad?
No. One more question. But it's got to be a really, really good question.
Pero tú escoge, John.
Yeah.
Tú escoge.
No, I can't. I've got to choose this gentleman who's been standing. No, this, like that. Yes.
Thank you, John.
My pleasure.
Español, porfa.
John, mi pregunta, ¿cuál de tu obra ha sido más complicada para ti por el tipo de personajes que utilizaste para desarrollar tus historias? Considero que es importante que nos digas, porque en eso nos vas a reflejar indudablemente parte de tu personalidad como escritor. Gracias.
Yeah, no, wait. Just repeat the end of that again. Well, this demonstrates why you should never take one more question. Yeah. The short answer is yes. That every time I sit down to create a character, I am stealing from myself. And it may be a fantasy part of myself. It may be myself from 30 years ago, 40 years ago. But it is a part of something that I feel. Yeah, the most complicated character, emotional complication, I think has to be the book that gentleman cited from El Profesor. But that said, a close second are the two characters in this book, because I had never started a book with two people as deeply flawed as humans as these. And that was a real challenge, and that was also a great joy. That's the other thing you should all know. If you're ever listening to a writer and he says he doesn't love what he does, get up and walk out, because it is, I cannot tell you how much I love all those hours spent alone in my room with my characters. But second to that are the moments I get to spend with you.
Pues muchas gracias por asistir, y pues bueno, a las 6 tenemos la firma y pues los esperamos ahí. Gracias.